The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Yeah, hi. My name is Mango, and this is a little Gator game. Super cute little platformer. I suppose you could call it collectathon. It's all about making friends and having a good time playing a game. We're playing a game within a game. Whoa. um, so before we get started, I am going to go into our settings real quick and change my name, because right now I have it set to whatever is on file 1, so I need to rename our character, and the name that we are going to choose, it is not cooperating with me, there we go, is Benjamin, and if you get that reference, I love you. Yep, I'm sure. And one more thing I wanted to talk about before we actually get started is the speedrun mode, because this game actually has its own like built-in speedrunning mode, and it does a whole bunch of things. So the first thing is these time checks down here, which are essentially like built-in splits to the game. I won't go into too much detail on what they are, but because spoilers and whatnot. But we have them, and you can see the timer on the top right of the screen as well. The next thing is like when you swing your sword around, it will swing on its own as long as you're holding the attack button. And then the text and dialogue will be skipped through automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and quit back out to title. And if we are all ready, time will begin as soon as I select the new game. In just about 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, and we are off. Right away, we're in a nice little flashback sequence with our adorable little baby Gator and their big sis. This is where we sort of begin our quest with our game, and this is where we actually get our name of Grinchman. It's our hero name. But we learned that our big sis was the one that was creating all of the games for us, and just having fun with us. But as big sis grew older, she went into college, and now doesn't have any time to play with us anymore. So our goal is to create a game so awesome that she just can't say no. And that's like the entire goal of this game. So in this first section here, we talked with a few of our friends, Jill, Martin, and Avery, and they're gonna be helping us in making our game. So with Martin, we have our first little fetch quest, if you will. We have to bring this pot back to Martin. And he's going to magically transform the pot lid into a shield that we can now slide on, as you just saw in this text there. So this is going to be one of our main movement mechanics of the game. We call it, we call it shield surfing. And this movement, you're not supposed to be able to do, but if you jump up and then hop onto your shield, you just get that little bit of extra height and, as you could see there, a little bit of extra distance forward. So if I do it correctly, we can hop across. There we go. Because the way you're supposed to do this section normally is there's another character that you can meet right under me here that will give you a bracelet that will give you a nice little stamina bar. But we're just gonna choose to ignore them. So, moving on to our second quest, we meet up with Avery, who at first was building a restaurant, but decided, I forgot to talk to Avery again, whoopsie, decided that the restaurant was a bad idea, so their quest turned into make your own reward, make your own hat. So we did that. We were supposed to talk to Avery again to actually finish our quest, that's why I had to go back. But that stick that I just picked up is going to be our sword. And we have to defeat these creepy, scary monsters with the sword, except we're not going to be using the sword, because that's just, you know, what we have to do, and that's not fun. But right there, we just finished up our quest on the little island. We show Big Sis how awesome we look and how fun and how much fun we're having. But she's like, sorry, I'm a little too busy. Maybe later. And in this big long text chain, we learned that our good friend Tom was actually on this big island, because we were all sad that no one actually showed up to play with us, but they were all on a different island. And if you may have seen that little interaction, like right before I left, I got that bracelet that I was talking about as a little, I guess, soft lock prevention. The game just gives it to you if you don't end up buying it. Oh, excuse me. And now we're moving on to our first main quest of the game. In this big island, we had three main quests that we have to complete. The first one being with Jill, Suzanne, Anton, and Jean. We have 3 little mini quests in order to complete our main quest. No, excuse me. So for Anton, we have to find a beetle. For Suzanne, we have to grab a magical beach ore. And for where am I going? For Jean up here. Wait, who did I not talk to? Did I talk to everyone? I did. Okay, never mind. But for Jean, we have to find a super rare yellow triangle. It'll make sense in a minute. But the sort of lore in that quest is we're trying to find a yellow triangle, which is a super rare drop. But in our case, it's the very last of those blue monsters that you defeat. We'll drop it. So we're gonna take a little detour and come over here because these 3 lovely people can't decide what they want to have for lunch. So we're just gonna say, you want apple slices and bun and chips. There we go. And just like that, we made 3 just pretty much free friends. So here we're gonna be defeating the last of these blue monsters, getting our yellow triangle, which is actually just half a cheese sandwich because I guess Jean was hungry or something. We're gonna talk to Billy, make friends with him after freeing him from the torture of having a bowling ball in his blowhole. Very, very painful. Get off the ground. And here we're doing sort of 2 quests at once. I do have enough, so there we go. Hop to Sierra, get the shuriken from Sierra with 500 of our craft stuff. That's like the main sort of checkpoint, I guess, of the run. We need to make sure we have 500 by that point. But on our way back, while we're still chasing this beetle, we're going to throw our shuriken at this pot to free pot hit from the pot. This game is very silly. Where did you go? You're still back there, aren't you? Yep. Come here. There you go. Went a little too fast for it. Oopsie. So we're gonna finish up chasing the beetle back, but before we do that, we're gonna talk to Suzanne. Give them the ore, and we're gonna just smack it a bunch. And yeah. And here we're turning this totally not just a normal rock into a Paleolithic tool, which is a fancy word for a rock on a stick. But we're just about to finish up this quest here. So yeah, we're almost finished with our first main quest of the morning. Just have to talk to Jill one more time. Jill learns that we've been helping everyone with their projects, and they all think it's very cool, and we're all friends now. Alright. And while we're making our way over to our next quest, if Mitty, if you have anything you want to jump in and say, you can definitely feel free to do so.
Okay, perfect. We just had a £13 donation from the Deal or No Deal game, which now takes us up to £253, which is a fantastic total already. Do remember today we are raising money for mermaids, and they support trans, non-binary, and gender-diverse children, young people, and their families, and they have done so since 1995. As well as providing direct support to trans individuals and important people in their lives, they have also got tools available to help allies contact their local Member of Parliament to call for change. To learn more about the organisation, visit mermaids.org.uk. And do remember that mermaids, as they operate through the UK, they operate through Gift Aid, which is a government initiative to boost donations by 25% if you are a UK taxpayer. So please do make sure at checkout that you do tick this box. I do know that's what I just did, and I believe that the Gift Aid donations don't add on to the total. So we are possibly on more than 253 at the moment, but the charity do still receive this. The charity also received 100% of the donations received during this event. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Right there, we just got our pretty much one of our biggest movement items, which was that bubblegum that we got from Mr. Dudley there. It's a really nice way to gain a big boost of like forward momentum. Like we just used it there to talk to Kate and Marlo. And we're moving on to our first little side quest of this main quest, which is to talk to Lucas. Lucas thinks that Martin is so super cool, and he wants us to help him learn how to talk to him. So we just say, just be you, man. You're awesome. Right over here, I'll be grabbing some spikes. Don't worry about it. we'll see what those are in just a bit. Ooh, I thought I could get up there like that, but nope. Coming over, there's gonna be a bit of flashing lights here, so little flashing images here, back and forth, right about here. But we're just gonna do Lie Truth Out. I couldn't tell you what they're saying. It goes by way too fast. But all we need to know is Lie Truth Out. And here we're going to be talking to Becca and giving her those spikes that we found earlier, which is actually her retainer that she had lost. Coming down here, talking to Jada, we are helping this tree that grew in absolutely the most inconvenient place ever. Yeah, it needs to be stabilized. It needs some clean water and some sunlight, so we're going to be helping Jada out with that. And I'm going to be doing something pretty cool that skips a few throws of the shuriken right there. Normally with that sign, you're supposed to need to throw 3 shuriken at it, but if you throw a shuriken and then jump on your shield, for whatever reason, the sign just breaks in 1 throw. I guess the game sort of thinks that you actually hit it with your shield instead, maybe. But we are already about to be finishing up our second quest, our second main quest, which we just have to turn on the water park, because water parks are awesome. But sort of lore behind why it was turned off in the first place was they all actually wanted it to be on, but they all thought that the others were too cool for it. So they sort of forced us to turn it off, and we had to go and convince them to turn it back on. Talk to Madeline on the way. Hop up on Billy here, use their blowhole to get over to this mountain in front of us to get to our final main quest of the game, I should say. Oh, barely made that. But now we're here with Avery and the theater group. My best friends in this in this game. They can't decide on what theme to have for their restaurant, so they all sort of went off on their own because, excuse me, fall. Because Esme here wants a vampire theme, Velma wants a sort of cowboy theme, and Andromeda wants a sort of space exploration theme. So we have to talk to each of them and have them sort of talk it out and figure that out. So in order to befriend Esme and get them to go back to Avery, we just have to enjoy some absolutely not blood flavored ice cream. Don't worry, it is just black cherry. But now that we have ourselves been transformed into a vampire, you may be wondering, how are you out in the sun right now? Aren't vampires like allergic to the sun or something? Don't worry, we have SPF 50,000 sunscreen. I am not kidding with that number. That's what little Gator here said. But coming over here to Andromeda, she's sensing some space monsters. And she's not convinced that we ourselves are not one, so we have to defeat all of them to convince her that we are not as scary as we might look. So, after we take down the mothership here, we sort of gain Andromeda's trust. They say pretty much, you're kind of cool. Right there, I did go into the menu for just a second because the bubblegum is that useful. Come over here, we're gonna meet up with everybody's best friend, Twig, who just wants us to do a cool flip. And now they're our friend. Get off the tree. Lucy here just wants a little head pat, but don't we all? Velma here, we have to wrangle up all of the cow kids, or all of her nephews. So they run on a sort of cycle. Luckily we got actually a very good one, so that worked out really well. And we just have a couple more little side quests to do before we can go back up. Just like these here. With Tanner, we have to destroy all of the fake pots, or the imposters as I call them. Just like that. And now they are our friend. And we just have to climb back up this mountain to our right and meet up with Avery and them. Excuse me. And then we will be moving on to actually coming up, oh boy, on the final little bit of the game. I can't get up there. I'm having a hard time. Maybe try that. There we go. That was a struggle. Oof. So here we all learn that they each have their own parts in the restaurant, so they all work together and create something awesome. But now we've made all of the required friends that we need. We've made 35 friends in just about 16 minutes. I wish it was that easy in real life. But now we just have to make our way back over to the, or I suppose over to the playground, not back over. Talk to Tom here, and he's going to have us try our best at creating our little building there. Unfortunately, we're not as talented as all of our other friends, so that this is sort of where we're supposed to learn that we are meant to be recruiting 35 friends in order to help us out. So we just have to go over to each of those little boards and have them help us out. Oh, excuse me. Kind of missed that one. Whoa, that's new. I haven't been there before. That's kind of fun. Okay, now we just have to talk to our friends one more time. We show Big Sis what we've been working on. She says she's still too busy, even though it's very cool. So now we're going into a sort of memory flashback sort of sequence that's sort of the last bit of movement of the run. We just have maybe, where am I going? A couple more minutes, I should say. I would say. So maybe if you've got anything else you want to mention before we get to the end, you got some time to do so. Because I've just got a bit of movement left that I kind of would like to focus on.
One moment.
Okay.
So we haven't had any more donations at the moment, but I will just talk a bit more about the charity. So Mermaids have recently published their future plans into 2027, including extending their work for any trans individuals under the age of 20 to anyone under 25. Donations will help Mermaids achieve this goal. To learn more about the organisation, visit mermaids.org.uk.
Alright, and we just have one more of these little cardboard cutouts to break. Right at the end of this hill, maybe about another 15 seconds. Maybe less. We're just going to be coming down right at the end of this hill, right in front of me here. So time is going to be ending in 3, 2, 1, time. That was a lot shorter than I thought. My fault. But yeah. That was an 1855 in-game time. Not certain what the RTA would look like, but yeah, that was Little Gator game, any percent. Right here, we have a nice little cutscene where we talk to Big Sis. We learn that she's that her being busy with school isn't actually such a bad thing. But yeah, thank you for the GGs, by the way. Yeah, we just have a nice little cutscene to go through. Sorry.
Alright, while we do that, any last shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, sure. If you would like to see more of me, I speedrun mostly puzzle games and platformers over on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheeMaskedMango. I'm also on like Twitter and YouTube if those are more your thing. But I also want to give a little shout out to the Little Gator game speedrunning community because they're a lovely group of people. Super welcoming and super like helpful for new runners and all that. They're great. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me.
Okay, perfect.
And thank you for having me as well.
That is a pleasure. Thank you so much for performing that run for us. Stick around, everyone, because coming up next, we have another fantastic run for you. It's going to be Breath of Fire DJ% by Derek GNC. So stick around. We'll be back after a 5 to 10 minute intermission.